this just hit me. I can't believe that I'm standing here. I'm just filled with gratitude this afternoon, and I thank you all so very much. I'm so touched. I want to thank the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce and Leron Gubler for this great award. I want to thank the Roundabout Theater, who has been my my theater company in New York, my theater family for many, many years on Broadway. I'm very grateful for them for sponsoring the Star today. And I absolutely love that you guys put me next to Dick Van Dyke. I'm sure it was a coincidence. I don't know how it happened, but what a great honor. As he said before, Dick originated the role that I'm doing now on Broadway, Albert J. Peterson, and what a tough shoes to fill. But I had the greatest call a few weeks ago. I think Jack and Don Rickles had him call me, and he was just the most delightful and graceful and supportive, and he made me feel so good. Everything you want Dick Van Dyke to be, he was, and I was so grateful for that. I want to thank Bob, my brother. I mean, you've just been there for me for every moment of my life, every up and down, and I just can't thank you enough. I literally, and I mean this. I mean, people, Bob and I joke around, but if I was hanging off a cliff on a stick and I had one call, Bob would be the call that I'd make, because he's always there for me. And Gary Marshall, I used to sneak into I would sneak into Paramount. I would tell them that I knew the casting director, and I would sneak around, and I would park, and they'd say, "Will you come and call?" And I would hide around, and I would go, and I'd sneak in and watch them rehearse Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley and Mork and Minnie and all the shows that Gary created, and never in a million years would I think that he'd be up here talking about me. 27 years ago, it's so great to see Tony here. I was auditioning for General Hospital to play Blackie, and it was one of my first auditions, and I was like on the third or fourth callback, and they said, you're not street enough. It was a New York street kid, a tough street kid, and they said, you're not street enough. So I put on jeans and a Levi vest and a bandana, which would have been a whole different thing on Santa Monica Boulevard. But I swear to God, I swear to you, I think Jim Warren was here. I walked right past this area, and I was working on my lines, and I thought I'd try to be a street guy, and I looked down at these stars, unlike most people, and I said, I'm never going to get one of these. I never thought in a million years I would. So, here I am. And I want to thank the fans most of all, who've been so supportive over the years. And I'm still amazed at every time someone comes up to me and they say they've grown up with me or they've followed me since they were kids, and it's sort of, I hate to call them fans, it's more like friends and family. I mean, you've invited me into your home for 27 years and allowed me to perform for you, and I'm honored and I'm humbled for that. It's crazy to look out here and see all my friends, like people that I've worked with, these great people from ER that I learned so much from, and Tony Geary, who was my original idol on General Hospital, who I thought was the greatest actor in the world, and to this day I still believe that he's so amazing. And I see Jeff and my sisters Janine and Elena. Without my family, I'm nothing, and this star is as much yours as it is mine. The first few weeks that I worked on General Hospital, my father, wanted to keep me humble and keep me disciplined, so he made me work at his restaurant still. And I was flipping hamburgers at my dad's restaurant for at least a month and a half of working the show. And I said, Dad, I'm on TV now. I should quit at some point. He said, No, you have to keep working. And people would actually come in and say, we'd like a cheeseburger and a friend. Wait a minute, aren't you the guy on? No, we'll take a cheese. But he was the greatest. He taught me how to love by example. My mother and my sisters and I were his life. He taught me discipline. He used to say to me, if you're 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. He taught me to treat the janitor with the same respect as the producer. He taught me to learn my lines, hit the marks, and he'd say, if they call you a pro, then you've done your job. The day before my dad died, I found a letter that he wrote to me a while back, and I just looked at it this morning, and the last paragraph said, life is short, and a man has few truly great moments, but you have given me many. Well, here's another one for you, Dad, and it has your name on it. And for that, I want to dedicate this star to my dad and my hero and my best friend, Bill Stamos. Thank you all very much for this great honor.